Yo, what's up, everyone? Let me know if you guys can hear me. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday. Yeah, Friday. Happy Friday. Hope you all had a good week. Hope everyone's safe and from the events, and hope all of you guys are okay and family and friends and all that scary stuff. Glad you guys are all here. Um, gonna talk about the off season here, cause hell, there's nothing really to talk about for the Bucks game. Let me know you guys can hear me, right? Sometimes the mic or whatever acts up a little bit in the start of the lives, but yeah, we're gonna talk about off season. I have a few things I want to talk about. There's an article today about Mickey Loomis in the head coaching search, which is gonna piss all of us off, and it's already pissed me off. We'll do a few mock drafts because why not? It's that time of year. I mean, we could talk about the Bucks game if we want, but what the hell is there to talk about? Um, there's we have like two starters on offense, and the defense is terrible. So who wants to talk about that? But we can if questions come in for it. So um, let's say I saw some questions already. Do we lose on purpose? No, they're not going to lose on purpose, but they're probably going to lose. Top three head coaching candidates. Like realistically, Vrabel and Glenn. I'm not realistic. My personal favorites would be Vrabel, Glenn, and Liam Cohen. I don't know how realistic those guys are. I have mixed feelings about Joe Brady, but if he ends up being a good head coach, then cool. But um, a lot of what Joe Brady has done that was great. He had Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, and when he didn't have a lot of success. So I'm hesitant on him. Let's see who else we got. No surprise. Why am I dressed like a dad? Just new style, I guess. Nothing specific. It's comfortable. I don't go for style. I just go for what's comfortable. I don't really have a style. I just wear whatever's available and what's comfortable. We have the 10th pick. Yes, we currently have the 10th pick. I could pull up Tankathon actually real quick. Tankathon info. Why don't we talk about the draft pick real quick? We'll start off with the draft pick and the 10th pick. Let's pull it up. Share screen. Where is it? Tankathon. Share. Which one do we want to do? My layout is in the way. There we go. Okay. Update. All right. So here's the current picks. Why don't we zoom in on this if we can? Can I get rid of this ad? There we go. All right. So the Saints currently have the 10th pick. Unfortunately, this is literally the worst year to be bad. The Saints can't even get being bad right. They have the 10th pick. Well, I want to mention that win over the Giants a few weeks ago was completely worthless because now I don't know exactly where they'd be picking, but they'd be picking like 5 to like 8 if they lost to the Giants. Man, does that suck? Like this is the worst year to have 5 wins. I think the Giants had 5 wins last season and had the 5th pick and got Malik Neighbors. Saints have the 5th pick this year. 5 wins this year, and they're picking 10th. Literally, this team cannot even get being bad right. They can't even be bad the right way. Man, having the 10th pick sucks. This team needs so much talent, and they have none of it. And to be picking 10th, like, there's a scenario. I've done a few mock drafts already. There's a scenario where they're not getting a good player, or at least I don't want to say that prematurely. Basically, you're not getting the Arizona wide receiver. You're not getting Mason Graham. You're not getting Abdul Carter. Like the best player you might get at 10 in some of these mock drafts is Ashton Janty, and I'm not against them, but taking a running back at 10 is like wild. But if he's the best player there, then he's the best player there. But man, picking 10th sucks in a 5-win season. That Giants win was so pointless. What do you think about drafting Jalen Moreau in the 3rd round? Sure, why not? If he's there, I don't think he'll be there in round 3. Round 2 is where I see him going, maybe like late in the 1st round. Also depends on who the head coach is, what the scheme is, and also what they do with Derek Carr and how the new head coach feels about Spencer Rattler. We could talk about Derek Carr and quarterback too. Um, shit. The Derek Carr thing is interesting because I feel like this new head coach is gonna. I think the thing is, does Mickey Loomis hire a head coach who would get rid of Derek Carr? I think that's important to know. And say he does, the head coach and Mickey Loomis, they're either going to have to get rid of Derek Carr and keep DeMario, Tyron, Cam Jordan, Taysom Hill, or get rid of all these guys and keep Derek Carr. I think you have to do one of those two. I wouldn't. I think the cap implications. I think getting off of Carr's contract is better than getting rid of off of Cam, DeMario, Tyrons, etc. But they have to do one of those two things. They can't run it back again. Like you have to let one of these two options go. I think DeMario's on the team regardless, but Tyrann Mathieu, Cam Jordan, Taysom Hill, I think you need to talk about him. He has a torn ACL. He's not going to be able to do. I'm assuming he's not going to be able to do the same thing he did this season because 35 years old, coming off an ACL, torn in ACL in November? Like he's not going to be the gadget player, or there's going to be limitations to that in 2025. So we'll see. Look, I'm not opposed to drafting a quarterback this year. It's just you're not going to get this quarterback draft class sucks. Drafting one at 10, I think would be stupid unless somehow Shedeur or Cam Ward fall. And outside of that, I'm not a big fan of the class. But if the coaches love someone and they think they can develop them, then cool. Last time the Saints had 0 players make the Pro Bowl, I want to say it was like there was a year where they had 0, but then like one player got in off of as an alternate. It was like DeMario or something. Was that like 22 or 23? I think it was 22. I think the last time like nobody from the Saints went to the Pro Bowl was like 2007. That's crazy. To be fair though, JT Gray should have made it. He's arguably the best special teams player in the NFL. Leads the league in special teams tackles. Alvin Kamara doesn't get hurt. He might make it. Rashid Shaheed doesn't get hurt. He probably makes it as a returner on special teams. Is that it? Eric McCoy probably gets in if he, doesn't miss like 90% of the year. Yeah, those are the only 4 players who probably could have made it if there wasn't like injuries or anything. Cut Jay Canner. I think he'll be on the team at least until training camp. Maybe a new head coach cuts him. But yeah, that Washington first half was not good. Granted, like there was a dropped pass. He had a nice play rolling out, and that was called back. But it wasn't. I think there's a clear difference of who's the better quarterback, and it's Rattler. At least for now. Maybe things change, but I wouldn't say we cut him. Just I'd keep him through training camp and see how things go. Let's see. Let's get through these other. For our first round pick, we either go edge, wide receiver, Michael, Luther Burden, Nick. I don't think you can limit it to a position. Just draft the best player who is at pick number 10. I'm a little against Luther Burden because the Saints already have a smaller receiver. Like, I don't know if drafting Luther Burden helps at all. Like, I'm sure it helps, but you still need like a guy who can run a slant and get popped and get back up, and then run a dig and get popped and get back up. I don't know how that would. I don't know if Luther Burden helps Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. You just kind of draft the same style receiver. Good player though. Luther Burden's a good player. I just don't know exactly if that's the type of receiver the Saints need to look into. The edge rushers, I really don't know too much about Scorton or Michael Williams. Um, Man, we could have got like a Mason Graham or Abdul Carter if we lost to the Giants. Like we'd be in that kind of range. Or if we couldn't get them, then we're probably getting T Mac from Arizona. But now we're talking about Michael Williams, Luther Burden, and Nick Scorton, and nothing against them, but like, damn, damn. We talked about that one. You think the Saints cannot trade Adebo. He is a free agent, and if I am the Saints, I'm trying to re-sign Paulson Adebo because the turnovers. I literally looked it up today, or looked into it today. I'm going to look into more of it, but the Saints have 3 interceptions since Paulson Adebo got hurt. They've not been able to produce turnovers, so you can't trade him because he's a free agent. 2, no one would trade a 3rd round pick for him just because like he has a broken femur. Like that is a huge injury. Um, I don't want to say good news for the Saints because I don't want to talk about injuries like good news, but fortunately for the Saints organization and team, this injury for Paulson Adebo might force him to take a 1-year prove-it deal with the Saints as opposed to getting a huge contract elsewhere in free agency, which was looking like what he was going to get. Had 3 interceptions in like 6.5 games. And we gave Paulson Adebo a lot of crap for the penalties and giving up a lot of plays, but like he was the ball hawk on this defense. He created turnovers, fumbles, interceptions. Like he made plays. So if I was the Saints, I'd try to re-sign him on like a 1-year, like I don't know, $7 million deal if he doesn't have a market because of this injury. I don't know. I don't know what Paulson Adebo's market is going to look like. I saw on his story though, like he was like running in place and stuff the other day, which is good. I mean, that guy broke his femur like a month and a half ago, which is crazy. 2 months ago. The Jets go QB because Rodgers might retire. Are the Jets? The Jets are above the Saints, but who are they drafting at 7? Shadur and Kim Ward are going to be gone. So unless they draft like Carson Beck or Quinn Ewers or Milroe, I guess it's possible, but they might wait till like the 2nd round to do that. Wouldn't mind taking cornerback or receiver. We need to be okay with any player at any position this team takes. I'm just hesitant at running back, but if Jainty is the best player there, then take Jainty. I don't care. Will Johnson from Michigan would be fire. The Saints need a corner. Maybe Alontae Taylor does better after a full offseason of training for outside, but I don't know. Alontae was like killing it in the slot the first half of the year. Like you could argue he was like a top 3-5 player on this team when he was in the slot. So maybe putting him back outside and giving a full offseason to prepare outside is like going to help him get back to the top 5, 3-ish range. He's also going to be in a contract year. Outside cornerbacks make a lot more money than slot cornerbacks. But I think I have not seen anything from Alontae or Kool-Aid to say like they should not draft Will Johnson if he's there. Like it would suck because like they've invested so much resources into corners and it still isn't there yet, but it is what it is. I'm curious though if they draft Will Johnson, does Alontae then go back in the slot? What do you do with like who's the number 2 outside corner? Does Rico Payton get a shot? Because Rico Payton flashed in the preseason too. I'd like to see him get an opportunity. Yeah, very interesting. And wide receiver, the only receiver I'd take in the top 10 is T-Mac. Or depending on who's on your roster, then you could take, I guess, Luther Burden. But the Arizona wide receiver is a freaking beast. Let's see, what other questions do we got? True. What do we got? Debo's ball hawk. He would have gotten at least, he would have gotten a lot of turnovers. But he also would have given up a lot of big plays. That's just who Paulson Adebo is. It's boom or bust. Who we had the start of the season. We had a good like comparison for him. Like you're either gonna get a great play from him or a bad play from him. No middle ground. Oh, let me know if any of you guys remember the comparison. Um, yeah, right here. He is good but not consistent. That's fair. You'd rather draft a QB in 2026 like Drew LR? Yeah, I mean we'll probably be in the range in like the top 5. Arch Manning, I think, is eligible for 2026. I don't know if he will be in that draft. Isn't the Florida Gators quarterback, is he eligible in 2026? Isn't he like a pretty decent QB? I know for sure 2026 QB class is probably going to be better than this year's. So the Saints should just build up the roster right now and just kind of take the cap hit, in my opinion, with Carr, and then let like Zach Wilson, Rattler, and Hayner battle it out for QB1 spot. I just don't see I don't understand why you'd pay a quarterback $40 million on this team. And for Derek Carr's standpoint, why would he want to stay on this team other than to get paid? Like Derek Carr, what, he's like 34? Let's see. Derek Carr age. Okay, he's turning 34 in March. Let's say hypothetically he has 3 years left in the league. Does he really want to waste one or two of those 3 years left on this shit roster? I mean, I'm sure he wants to go win. And the Saints need to clean up the cap, and that is a contract that, it's going to suck getting off of that contract in the moment, but like you're off of it in 2026. Just take that cap hit, pay Zach Wilson or some random free agent QB like $8 million, and then just let 2026 suck. That's the reality is that's what's going to happen. 2026 is going to suck regardless. Is going to suck regardless at who's at quarterback. Might as well clean up the cap while doing it and let Rattler or free agent QB or Hayner be the quarterback while you do it. Should the Saints trade for Hendon Hooker from the Lions? I would not trade a 3rd round pick. I'm not trading any picks for anybody, if I'm being honest. I like Hendon Hooker coming out of college, but he hasn't proven anything to even trade a 3rd round pick for. Now, if we hire, say, Aaron Glenn or like the Lions wide receiver coach and he wants Hooker, sure, you could probably trade like a 6th round pick for him or something. But a 3rd round pick for him, I wouldn't do it. Update on Chris Olave. Why don't I pull this up? Share screen. Twitter, aka X. Let's zoom this. Oh, it's not zooming in. What if I did that? All right, I'm sure you guys can see Olave. Where's he at? Full practice all week. He's questionable. I hope he doesn't play. I don't see the point in him playing. I know he's doing good, and Rizzy said he's been practicing good and feeling good at the facility. He's in meetings, but he better not play. Like, protect your players. Don't let him play. Yeah, that's the update on Olave. Derek Carr is out. Who knows if he comes back, but if he never plays another snap for the Saints, his final snap will be him diving headfirst for a 1st down versus the Giants on the 2nd. Kamara's doubtful. That sucks. 50 yards short of 1,000 yards rushing. Kendra Miller's out with a concussion. People are going to be upset about that. You can't help a concussion. If it was like his hamstring, I'd be pissed, but you can't help a head injury, and everyone else is questionable. So I don't have a personal update on Olave other than what Rizzy has said, and that's that he's doing good in practice and in meetings and stuff. Yeah, Trey Harris would be a fire pick. I just don't know if he's there in the 2nd round when the Saints are picking. He fits the like physical build, right? Trey Harris. 6'2". What's his weight? He's 2. Yeah, Trey Harris. I'm just double checking. Yeah, he'd be a good pick. He'd be a good pick. And you got to think, look, yeah, I'll say this about Spencer Rattler. Shitty situation. Shitty situation. What, he's on the second or third string left guard and the second or third string center, and he's literally throwing to like our sixth string wide receivers. And yeah, shitty situation. However, though, that doesn't mean like he doesn't have stuff to improve. He's got to read the blitz a little bit better. He's definitely, I thought he's done a better job of like throwing it to his first read or the open guy and throwing the check down a little bit sooner. I do notice though, like whenever he's under pressure and there's guys coming at him and he wants to get the ball up fast, he throws it way too high. And if we're going to talk about hospital balls, like those can result in some bad. Those are dangerous passes. He had one to Juwan in the Raiders game on like a crossing dig route, and then the interception throwing to, I think, Cedric Wilson was a high pass. Hit him in the hands. Should have caught it. Also, the pass should not have been that high. Two things can be true. So yeah, he's got things to work on. To this point, I think we've seen. I don't think we've seen anything that says this guy can't be an NFL starter, but I don't think we've seen anything that says like right now he is an NFL starter. He'll have a full offseason to develop and get better. And I don't know what the new head coach has planned for him, but surely if he does start next season, I mean, he'll have Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed and Alvin Kamara. Hopefully he'll have Foster Moreau. I think he'll be on the team. Best tight end on the team. He'll probably have Eric McCoy. So the situation will be better. It's like, will he develop? Will he even be starting kind of thing? Let's see what else. Mason Graham could still fall to us. Teams before us could pat. I mean, yeah, he could fall to us, but at the same time, like, he's ridiculously good. There's a report that came out when he declared for the draft. It was like he's projected to go top 5. Maybe things change. Maybe he interviews during the like combine and teams don't like his personality and he falls to the Saints. You know how there's like a 10-minute timer you have to wait for the draft. Like if I'm the Saints, I am running and hitting in the card if Mason Graham is available. I'm not even thinking about another player. Yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe a new scheme on defense. Who knows? Who knows what the defensive scheme does? Vikings, I wouldn't trade anything for JJ McCarthy. Just keep the picks. I'm keeping the picks. This team can't be trading for a quarterback. Like it's still gonna be a shitty situation regardless of who's quarterback. And if JJ McCarthy sucks, then like you just wasted a pick. But if Brian Flores becomes the Saints head coach and he saw JJ McCarthy in practices and he must have him, then I don't know, find a way to make it happen, I guess. But I'm kind of against it. Tyler Warren, fire. One of the best tight ends in this draft class, if not the best. Yeah, would love to have him if it's even possible. You would resign a Debo and put Alante back in the slot. Yeah, that's. I think that's a good plan, but then also too, like, then they would both be free agents in 2026. And depending on how they play, you don't keep both. Then you have Kool-Aid, and then you got to draft into the corner. And who knows if Adebo is even still that good? Like, I think you still might have to draft the corner, even if you keep Adebo, which is super unfortunate. But that's just where this team is at. Tyler Warren a bit high where we're at, so I'd trade down a couple spots, and then I mean, we'll do a mock draft shortly. But if like there's scenarios where I've done these mock drafts and it's like, damn, this is terrible. I'd trade back and then draft Warren. That's what I would do. You think we shouldn't re-sign Alante? I gotta see him next season. I think every every time we've seen him struggle, it's because he has to learn a new position. Last season, he struggled because he was learning slot. This year, learning slot, looks great at it, and then he gets put back outside and struggles at it. So maybe a full off season of preparing for outside, and he'd be good at it again. But um, yeah, I'm not really there on Alante yet. I'm still in between. F Zach Wilson, you don't want. I was just listing a name of a QB. I wasn't saying go sign him. Um, you would cut Carr June 1st. We'd save 30 million and only lose 10 million. Yeah, that's fair. It's not really the we would save 30 million, but the dead money cap hit, we'd also lose a significant amount of money. Then the Saints would have to basically restructure every contract on the team to be cap compliant, and then they'd basically have to sign league minimum players. Unless you do when the Saints were planning on cutting Michael Thomas in 22. They did a whole reworked contract, so Michael Thomas got more guaranteed money at the time, but the dead money cap hit or whatever was lessened or whatever. They could try doing that with Carr. Um, he doesn't suck, but he's not great elite and isn't a franchise QB. Yeah, that's fair too. Um, yeah, I would move on, and I think if you're Derek Carr, you'd also want to move on too. Is Kamara going to be playing? No, he probably will not. What happened to my old Saints account? Which one? If you're talking about the YouTube Shorts one, I still got it. I just don't post on it. Trade down. Rattler has no playmakers, playing behind a practice squad online, Fuaga and Penning. Yeah, I think this Raiders game, the Raiders were the first non-playoff team he played against. In that first half, he had 2 incompletions, and it was a drop, which would have had them at like the 10-yard line. And then it was a throwaway, and then he had a touchdown called back, which was excellent. Like, he did a lot of really good things in this game, but he also did a lot of things where it's like, oh, this guy's a 5th-round rookie who needs help. And then you also see, like, oh, he needs some playmakers around him too as well. Yeah, clearly Foster Moreau is the best tight end on the team. Juwan, if you can re-sign him for like $2 million, sure. But imagine like Foster Moreau and Tyler Warren. That would be fire. That would be fire. Sign Justin Field, sure. Who cares? I don't. If the new head coach wants him, sign him. I'm really, when it comes to QBs, I'm open to almost anything. If the new head coach wants him, then sure. If not, then great. No, no preference here. I'm not gonna really have an opinion because I thought Derek Carr. I wanted Saints to sign Derek Carr. I thought it'd be great. It'd be a great fit. And so far, I mean, it's had ups and downs, but I'd say it's been. I don't say it's been a non-successful signing, but it hasn't been the best signing. So when it comes to QBs and coaches, I don't really have an opinion. Just make it work. I don't care who it is. Sure, yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. Let's see. Did I answer this? They're gonna pick up Olave's 5th-year option probably, and then we'll see from there. I don't know if Olave wants to even come back. We'll see. Say Spencer Rattler starts next season. They cut Derek Carr. And Spencer Rattler, the Saints go 5-12, but Rattler looks great. Maybe Olave sees a future. Then maybe he wants to stay. But if I'm Chris, I'm going. I wouldn't want to resign. Can the Saints move to the 8th spot if the Raiders win? Yes, the Saints can move up in the draft position if Bears, Raiders, Jets, Panthers, Jags win, and the Saints lose. I don't know how far they go up, but they definitely go up a few spots at least. And those few spots would definitely help. Man, Mickey is preventing this team from being half decent now plan. Yeah, Mickey Loomis is a problem. Yeah, I can't even suck right. I need a post. If you're talking about the shorts, Saints shorts, maybe. But what is there to post? That's my rebuttal. What is there to post? Who do you think we draft? Whoever is good, the best player available. Cam Jordan's last season. I think he's going to be playing in the NFL next year. I just don't know for who. Yeah, I don't know where or who he'll be playing for. Jeremiah Smith is ridiculous. What he'll declare for the draft in like 3 years. The Saints will probably be in the top 5 to pick him in 3 years. There's nothing new about Carr. The ceiling is, yeah, this is all fair. Thoughts on Penning the season, last one, and then we'll do 2 things. Thoughts on, I thought Penning has been solid. I think you learned this year that you can survive with him. You can live with him. He's an NFL starter. I think that's what you learned. He can start in the NFL, but he isn't a game changer. Let me think. Maybe he's like James Hurst. He's serviceable. You can get through. He's playable, but he's not an answer to your problem. Thoughts on Gruden? I'm not for Gruden. I'd stay away. What has he done since 2002? John Gruden last playoff win. Wasn't his last like playoff win 2002? Some crazy crap like that. And then I know he went to broadcasting and stuff, but Mickey Loomis would not be doing himself any favors PR wise by hiring John Gruden. We're gonna stop with the questions for a little bit right there. Speaking of head coaches and Mickey Loomis, let's pull this. There's an article put out today. I wanna pull it up and go over it real quickly. I might do a whole video on it too. Where is it? Is it this one? Yes, it is this one. Can I zoom in on this? I can. Where's the part I'm going to read? Where is it? All right, so right here it says, this is an article put out today by Troy Pauline. And it says, well, several candidates have been connected as the Saints head coach. League sources tell me when it's all said and done, it will be Aaron Glenn who lands the job. That will not be surprising, but that's not the thing where that's like upsetting. Where's the next part? People tell the writer of this article, longtime Saints general manager Mickey Loomis, who has been with the organization since 2000, isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Despite the lack of recent success, Loomis doesn't want a lot of upheaval in the organization and would prefer to keep several existing coaches on the staff. The belief is Glenn would be open to keeping the coaches Loomis once retained, given his relationship with the organization and general manager, which makes him a perfect fit for the job. Glenn has also has been spoken about as a head coaching candidate for the New York Jets, the team that selected him in the first round in 1994. And that is the article. Last question we did was Gruden. Why don't we scroll down? What sucks about this article is that Mickey Loomis hired Dennis Allen and to retain a culture, and they kept all the same coaches. And if this article is true and they hire Aaron Glenn and keep all the coaches that they want, it's Dennis Allen 2.0. That is what it is. Maybe Aaron Glenn is a better coach than Dennis Allen, but if you're telling me Aaron Glenn doesn't want to bring anybody over from Detroit, and he wants the exact same staff that the Saints have right now that has them at 5-11, that's an issue. Two, why is Mickey Loomis not being held accountable? They're negative 80 million in cap space, and they're 5-11. What else has he done? Terrible drafting, no talent on this roster, 0 Pro Bowlers. Someone has to be held accountable. Gail Benson is the owner of 2 bad teams in 2 separate sports leagues. There's an issue here. And, maybe it's not her, but Mickey Loomis is a problem that that isn't being addressed because they're close and they're friends. Like Mickey Loomis, what has Mickey Loomis done since the 2017 draft? He got lucky with Sean Payton and Drew Brees in the 2017 draft. What else has he done? Those three events is what his resume is living off of. He still thinks this team is like 2 players away from a Super Bowl. Now, granted, I'll give him this. The Saints have had like a shit ton of injuries. Like you lost your number 1 receiver, number 2 receiver. You could argue, number 4 receiver, but means Alvin Kamara was hurt all year. Kendra Miller wasn't available. Granted, he drafted him. Eric McCoy wasn't available all year. Defensively, the defense just sucks. They've been healthy all year. So you could argue, you know what? We had a lot of injuries. Maybe we could keep like the O-line coach or whatever, but I just don't understand the logic. Like, they haven't even interviewed anybody yet. Why, if this article is true, they haven't even interviewed anybody yet. And for this to be, the consensus and the decision is ridiculous. If this is true, this team is going to be stuck in purgatory for forever, or as long as Mickey Loomis is the GM and as long as Gail Benson is the owner. Like, she had to go over the GM's head to fire the head coach that he thought that he compared to Bill Belichick, and he's still gonna have a job. It's frustrating. It is very, very frustrating. Let's see what you guys have to say. This is bad. Yep. Mickey's turning the Saints into the Raiders. We can't no longer say, oh, at least we're not the Raiders. We're worse than the Raiders. At least the Raiders have money to spend cap-wise. Just keep rebuilding. What the issue is, Mickey Loomis will never rebuild. Loomis wants to keep coaching staffs. Yes, like Clint Kubiak deserves another chance to be an LC. He didn't get a fair shot with all the injuries here. He definitely has a lot of stuff to like fix and improve upon himself. But like, enough. Let Aaron Glenn or Mike Vrabel or I don't know. I don't care who it is. Let them bring their own guys and let the guys who trust that coach come to your staff. This should not be, oh, we're keeping the offensive staff and Darren Rizzi and no, just wipe it clean. Yeah. Ownership is an issue. Mickey Loomis is delusional. Gail Benson. Yeah. Well, what would the record be if the Saints starter stayed healthy all season? Let me pull up the schedule. Saints schedule. It's unrealistic to say like all their starters stayed healthy all year because every team has an injury somewhere. But let's just say Olave plays every game. McCoy plays a few more games. Derek Carr misses 3 games. Let's see. They honestly might beat the Commanders if Olave, Carr, and they might beat the Commanders if they were a healthier team. They might beat the Raiders. Yeah, that's about it. Two teams. You win 2 more games. So like we'll say 7 to 8. We'll say 7 to 8. Can we label Kendre as a bad pick now? Yeah, I mean we could say it's a bad pick. I'll argue though. They didn't miss on the talent. The talent is there. It's the um availability and the trouble learning the playbook. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He should know the playbook if he's missing that much time, and he doesn't. And the Saints definitely need to draft a running back too. You can't go into 2025 saying we have Kendre. Like, if he plays, then great. You have 3 good running backs. But until proven otherwise, you can't rely on him. If sources are true, Joe Wood and the I can't take another year of this defensive staff. It needs to be wiped. It does. All right. You guys want to do a mock draft? I wanted to do a mock draft. Let's do it. You guys can tell me who to pick, because why the hell not? What's better, this or what was the other camera? What was the is this one or that one? Which one's better? We'll say this one is 1. This is 2. Which one's better, 1 or 2? Which camera? I think this one might be better. You guys can see the full screen. We'll just stick with this one. 7 rounds, fast, Saints. Do you think a new head coach would trade up for Shadur? If it was possible, maybe. All right. If a team was willing, I guess, then sure. Depends on the head coach. All right. Let's do a mock. I don't know how realistic this is going to be. Mason Graham, Travis Hunter, Shadur, Cam Ward, T-Mac, Abdul. This is somewhat realistic. All right. Who should we pick? We got Jane T, Will Johnson, James Pierce. Try NFL mock draft database. I like the Pro Football Network one. It's super easy to use. I'm just going to stick with this one. We'll restart. Restarting. My bad. All right, everyone. 2 people said Will Johnson. Anyone want Scorton or Pierce? Luther Burden. Jane T is not available. Will Campbell is available. Ohio State receiver is available. Tyler Warren is available. Is there a way to make this bigger? There we go. We'll just stick with this. Scorton, Will Johnson. Jane T is not available. Will Campbell is available if anyone wants the offensive tackle. Emeka Egbuka, is that how you say his name? He's available. Yeah, I'm saying Will Johnson with you guys. Let's go to round 2. Hide. All right, round 2. Alec Ayomanor would be fire. Milroe is available. Deion Walker. Campbell from Bama. I don't know too much about this guy. You guys don't have to help me out here. Quinn Ewers is available if you want to drop the QB. LSU guys, there's Emory Jones. We still need edge rusher since Chase Young will be a free agent after this season. Yeah, I mean, we need everything. So there's not really a position we shouldn't draft. Peyton Turner is also going to be free agent. And while he does a whole lot of nothing most of the time, it's still You have to consider him. All right, we got 2 votes for JT. I'm gonna say JT because I don't know how to say his last name out of Ohio State. We got 3. If anyone else has a rebuttal, put it within like 10 seconds. Otherwise, we're drafting this guy. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're taking edge rusher from Ohio State. We got 2 third-round picks. All right, what do we do here? Ooh, Jaden Higgins would be good. Do we take a corner? When are we taking Lacey? I don't know if we're going to take Lacey. Is he even available? Did someone take him? Yeah, the Browns already took him in this one. All right, so here's who's available. Jackson Dart, Jalen Royals, TJ Sanders, Jaden Higgins, Tez Johnson, Dalen Everett, Carson Beck. I'm not going to name all of them, but there you go. Tez Johnson, TJ Sanders. We need a DT. Damn, you're late. It's all good. Okay, so based off of this, is Tez Johnson? He's a little bit on the smaller side, I think, for this team. If we're gonna draft a receiver, my vote would be Higgins. That's my vote. But if you guys really want Tez, we can take him. Someone said TJ Sanders. He's on the table. He's the best defensive tackle right here. There's also the cornerback. Let's look interior offensive line. Jaden Roberts. Is he an option at 74? I wish I could do a poll. Oh, you just came from IG. You know, we're doing a mock draft. We're doing a mock draft because no one wants to talk about the Saints and Bucks game. So we're just trying to figure out who to go with Sanders. Was that 2 or 3 votes for Sanders? We got. It's between Tez Johnson and TJ Sanders. So, I really wish I could do a vote on here or a poll. All right, shit. I'll just count it up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. All right, we got more votes for Sanders, so we'll take TJ Sanders. We got another 3rd-round pick. Tez Johnson is there. We'll just take him because that was the other vote. 4th round. What have our picks been so far? There should be a way to see that. All right. First pick of round 4. We got an offensive tackle, Blake Miller. Let's look at receivers. Actually, no, we just drafted a receiver. Never mind. I'm stupid. Terrence Ferguson, tight end. Terrence Ferguson for sure. Go linebacker, Deontay Lawson. He would be cold. All right, so we got 2. We got 2 for Ferguson, 1 for the linebacker. Who's left at running back? Shit, yeah, we got to look at running back too. Here's the available running backs. I like these 2 guys right here. I don't know too much about these guys. I have to look more into these guys. Willie Gay's a free agent. Look at safety. Castro, Saab, Bassa. Ferguson, 1. We got 3 for Ferguson and 2 for Lawson. Anyone else got a preference? Otherwise, I'm going to draft Ferguson. Samson, and I think we could get Samson in the next pick. We'll see who's available. Let's go Ferguson. I don't think we're all going to agree on the same player, but he seems to be the consensus. All right, Dylan Gabriel. We got 2 safeties. Let's look at running backs. Samson's available. The Packers drafted Scatibo or whatever. Let me know. Let me know positions you guys want to look at. Corner. Let's look at corner. Oh, we drafted Will Johnson, I think. My picks. Oh, all right. Here are our current picks right now, and then here's who's available. We still need safety, running back, and like everything else. Go Malachi Moore. We got 2 from Malachi Moore. Anything else? Any other players? You're agreeing with Rocket Sanders? Am I stupid? Is there a dude named Rocket Sanders? Yes, safety. All right, let's just go Malachi Moore. Right there. We're gonna have to draft a running back in round 6, though. Let's hope Samson is still there. Trevor Etienne just got picked. Damn. Let's go running back on this pick because the team needs a running back. Any of these guys? Le'Veon Moss, didn't he get hurt? Sanders from SC, running back. You might have got picked. Raheem nickname is okay. I'm stupid. I don't watch a lot of college football. These are the running backs. Here's everyone who's like available. I don't know any of these names. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm literally basing these last few picks off of what you guys tell me. Jalen Otts, he's a running back. We going Donovan Edwards, college. No idea. No idea. All right, we got 1 vote for Jalen Ott at running back. Anyone else? If no one else says anything in like the next like minute, we're going go Edwards. Is Edwards a running back? Am I stupid? Oh, Donovan Edwards right here. Okay. So we got 1 for Ott and 1 for Edwards. We need like 1 more person to put in their vote. If no one puts in their vote, then I'll just flip a coin and we'll go from there. Let's see. Nothing there. All right, no one put in their other vote, so I'll just flip a coin. Coin flip simulator. All right, tails will be Edwards, and it is heads. We'll go with Ott. Jaden Ott it is. We do not have a 6th round pick. 5th round. We have 2 7th round picks though. All right, we got 2 picks left. Oh, you said Edwards like a second too late. Sorry about that. He might still be available. He is not. All right, here's who's left. Anyone got a vote? No idea who these guys are. What have we not drafted? We got a corner, an edge, D tackle, receiver, tight end, safety, running back. I guess we need a linebacker, interior offensive line. Go guard, any interior offensive line. Yeah, at this point, offensive guard. We could argue a center too because of McCoy's injury history. All right, here's the offensive guards available. Any of these guys stand out, or if not, just say Josh Prebe. I don't know if any of these guys are good or not, but go Josh. He's the guard. Yeah, he's the top ranked guy, and I'll just go with that. Center. We could look at center. This is the last pick for this mock. Yeah, base it off the school. I do that sometimes. If there's like a running back from like Northwestern and the guy from Michigan, like I'll take the guy out of Michigan. So here's the centers, and then here's best players available. Brady Cook. We could draft another safety. D tackle, edge, corner, edge. Yeah. We could draft another receiver too. If no one says anything, I'm just gonna draft the center or the safety. No idea. Go DT. This guy. We need as much O lineman as possible. So we got a DT and an offensive line vote. Anyone else? Any other votes? All right. Well, if you got a vote, you got like 30 seconds. K-part. All right, we got 2 for this guy right here. So we'll go with K-part. And that's it. All right. Here's our picks. Will Johnson would be a great pick. I'll look more into this guy, but we need an edge rusher, so that would help. Don't know too much about. I'm a casual right now for college prospects. I'll get better, don't worry. I like getting a receiver, but not a big fan of the 5'10", 161. But if he's good, he's good. Ferguson would be a good pick. Malachi Moore would be a good pick. Exit out, please. And then, yeah. What do you guys think? Good, bad? Delete it. And that's pretty much all I had planned for this live. So I'll probably answer some more questions and then get out of here because I got a few other things to take care of today. B plus. I should be going live on Instagram later today. I think that's the plan with Saints Talk New York. For those who know who he is, B plus. Who would give this a B plus? Fire or A minus? Okay. Yeah, my only issue with this particular one is just that this guy is a small guy. He's small, but if you get a playmaker, you get a playmaker. So, all right. That's it for this mock. If you got to screenshot it, then cool. All right. Let's answer some other questions and then we'll get out of here. Is there anyone up here that I missed? Let me make sure. The last one we did was Gruden. Where's... I don't think I missed anything. All right. An edge from Ohio State is nasty. 161. 161. What's so funny about 161? Am I an idiot? I don't know. I'm a little slow today. We don't have pick 161. I'm stupid. You don't have to explain to me 161. Give back card to the Raiders. They've been a mess without him. Sure, why not? I'm sure the Colts will be interested in him too. Show the draft. You missed it. All right. Oh, at the stage. There you go. There's the draft. Here's the mock draft we did. Tez Johnson and yeah. I'm slow. Is it actually 161? Johnson, wait. Oh my god, it's actually 165. That is he's smaller than Olave. Damn. Sometimes the stuff they have on these sites are like a little behind and a little outdated. 165 is small as hell. Is he at least good? Let's see. Let me go to Twitter and pull up. Let me look up his name. Typically, you can. All right, he was the guy who waited after the bowl game. Is he at least good? You can't be 165 and be bad, because that is insane. How many NFL players actually weigh that much? Devonta Smith is like 180 pounds. Devonta Smith weight. Devonta Smith is 170. Damn. Okay. I mean, if he's like Devonta Smith, then great. But you need an AJ Brown to help. All right, I'm gonna zoom back in. If you need to look at it again, then let me know. Who do I want as head coach? No preference. I don't have an opinion, but I like Mike Vrabel. I just don't see it being realistic. Uh, Aaron Glenn would be great. I mean, from a defensive standpoint, but after reading that article that like he would keep the staff members here that Mickey Loomis wants to keep, like that's a huge red flag on Aaron Glenn. Um, yeah, no opinion. I like Liam Cohen from the Buccaneers, their OC. The Saints wanted to hire him as their offensive coordinator back in 2022 with Dennis Allen wanted to get Liam Cohen and he didn't take the job, and then he had to keep Pete Carmichael his first year. JT or Jack Sawyer would be great for us, but you'd rather JT. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into the edge rushers. I only know Abdul Carter, and that's about it. Torrey Holton, the wide receiver from college. Yeah, Colorado State. He was good. You believe he's 6'2". Yeah. The issue, I just don't want to draft a guy who's like tall and like skinny. Like we need like T-Mac would just be the perfect player for that. Alec Ayomanor from Stanford would be a perfect fit for that too. Ayomanor would be a good fit. Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris. I think the Saints got to get one of those guys. I do. If you want to prevent Olave from getting these concussions and stuff, you got to get T-Mac, Ayomanor, Trey Harris, or Jaden Higgins. You got to get one of those four guys. You might have to fight Mickey Loomis. Bro, I think we all want to have a convo with Mr. Mickey Loomis. Personal pick for head coach to take this team forward. I mean, if I got to pick, if this was Madden and I got to pick whoever, I'd hire Mike Vrabel. I don't think Mike Vrabel would put up with any of Mickey Loomis's bullcrap. He's a culture builder. He took the Titans to the freaking AFC Championship with Ryan Tannehill. Now, if he was the head coach, like he wouldn't fix things immediately. Like this team would still suck. The only difference is like he'd be building a culture and building towards something. He'd put players in good positions. I don't really know his history on hiring offensive coordinators, but I like Vrabel. Vrabel would be my number one option, but I just don't see it happening. The wide receiver from Stanford would be great. Yeah, Manor would be perfect. He would be great. Yeah. Someone asked if we did any trades. No, we did not do any trades on that last mock draft. Should we wait for a long-term QB? I mean, if the new head coach sees a QB he loves and must have, then draft him. But I mean, this team isn't in a position to have a franchise QB. Like whoever the quarterback is, they're gonna struggle. Yeah, low-key sucks that this team isn't going anywhere until Mickey Loomis isn't the GM. Agreed. Because he runs this team as if they're a player away from the Super Bowl. Like I understood it in 2022, when DeMario was still like in his prime. Cam Jordan was still somewhat effective. Tyrann Mathieu was still pretty good. Um, they did not have Toronto. Ryan Ramczyk was still playing. Eric McCoy was playing most games. Kamara was available, but Pete Carmichael was the coordinator. Like I understood it in 2022 a little bit. I don't understand any of it now. Like this team is bad. There's no talent on this team other than like Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. No young talent other than like 5 guys. And even then, like they're not making Pro Bowls. They're all pros. Granted, injuries and stuff, but if Vrabel is your top head coach candidate, he's perfect. He's exactly what we need. Yeah, I just don't see Vrabel coming here. I'm sure he'll interview. Um, I just don't see it. Get a new medical staff, maybe. Some of the stuff you can't prevent. You can't prevent Paulson Adebo from breaking his femur. You can't prevent concussions. Since Darren Rizzi took over, they've had a lot of less soft tissue injuries, but guys are still having some significant injuries. So I don't know what you could really do about some of this stuff. Like the stuff you can work on, I think they have done a better job at. Like guys aren't getting hurt at practice anymore like they were before. So, but yeah, injuries like the next comment says since 2021 have been bad. 21 was really bad. Hell, even 2020 there's a lot of injuries. 22 there's a lot. 23 there's a lot. This year there was a lot, then there's a little, then it went back to a lot. So, um, a lot of it also has to do like they have a lot of older players on this team, and when you're older, your body can't keep up that long, and you're taking hits that you used to be able to take, and you can't do it anymore, or you're hitting players a certain way that you used to be able to hit, and it's impacting you more. Um, I think a lot of if they want to help prevent injuries and have shorter injury reports, you got to get younger players, have them be good and stuff like that. As a Bills fan, go Bills. Yeah, I like the Bills. I want to see the Bills in the Super Bowl. Would love to bring Cam Jordan back on a short deal to retire a Saint. Uh, Not opposed to it, but you can't pay him 12 million. He's currently due for 12 million. You can't pay that. Arch Manning will either be 27 or 28. He's a soft. I'm pretty sure he can declare for 2026. Arch Manning, what grade? I thought he's a sophomore now, and then you can declare after your junior year. Oh, it says he's a freshman. I didn't know that. Do I watch James Gramada? I hope I said his name right. I know of him. I don't watch him, though. I should, though. I probably should check him out. Out of respect and love for Cam Jordan, he needs to retire after the season. He's made it clear that he's not retiring this season. So, it's a tricky situation, but the Saints, if they want to get better, they have to be willing to let old players go, and he's one of them. You gotta move on somewhere. You gotta move on from Carr, but if you don't, you gotta move on from Cam and DeMario or Taysom, something like that. Do you think we'll make the Super Bowl? I think you're the Bills fan, right? Yeah. You can. Just can you get past Patrick Mahomes? That's the thing there. Also, you guys got smoked, I think, by the Ravens earlier this year. Can you get past the Ravens? It should be. I want to see the Ravens or Bills. Closest the Saints are coming to the Super Bowl is hosting it. Yeah, redshirt sophomore, you can go into the draft. Okay. So I wasn't. It was like half right, half wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying Cam hasn't been effective. Like since DA got fired, Cam Jordan has been a lot better of a player. I'm just saying you can't pay him 12 million. Um, Yeah, you can't pay him that price next season. And the same goes to a whole bunch of other of the vets. I think no matter what, DeMario's on the team and Alvin's on the team, but Cam, Taysom, and Tyron, like you gotta you gotta consider moving on from those guys. As much as it sucks. Yeah, they're too loyal to players. They are way too loyal to players. Yeah, he will definitely structure. If MVS wants to stay, I'd keep him, but he still doesn't fix the issues the Saints have at receiver. You still got to draft a guy. Like keeping MVS doesn't make me not want to draft T Mac. The Saints still need a guy who can run a dig route over the middle, get popped, and get back up. They still need a guy who can basically play the Michael Thomas role, and they do not have that guy. Cam will for sure restructure. Maybe, maybe not though. Depends on how much the Saints are asking Cam to restructure and maybe take a pay cut. I'd say like 8 to 10 games. 11's a big number. I'd say 8 to 10. I don't think they make the playoffs though. The Buccaneers are just a good team. Yeah, Bond, Trey Hendrickson, Caden Ellis is making plays for the Falcons. Yeah, shout out to DA for letting really talented players go. See, this is the issue too. Love DeMario. He should end up in the Hall of Fame. But imagine a linebacking core of Bond and Warner, or Bond and Ellis, or Ellis and Warner. Like, maybe the play is a little bit less than what you've gotten in 23 or whatever from DeMario, but like, you're younger, you're probably spending less money. DeMario is no longer on your dead money cap hit, and you're younger. Like, that's important. And you have a talented player who has a bright future. And they let him go. Arch will not be ready if he declares. Who knows? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Who knows? Was it me who I wanted Patrick to sign with this? Ended up being a great pickup. Yes, I wanted Tim Patrick I wanted the Saints to trade for him. A lot of people gave me shit for that, but like, I'll tell you this: if Tim Patrick is on the Saints this year, I don't think Chris Olave gets concussed because Tim Patrick, how big is he? Tim Patrick height. He's 6'4". He's a big body guy. Instead of Chris Olave running a dig route over the middle and getting like taken to the hospital, it's Tim Patrick taking that hit in his shoulder instead of his head. Chris Olave's not taking those hits over the middle. Yeah, it was me. I wanted Tim Patrick, and hell, he may have not even helped us win another game. Olave might stay healthy though. It helps with the injuries. Like right now, Spencer Rattler could be thrown to Tim Patrick instead of Mason Tipton. All respect to Mason Tipton, like he's in the NFL, but like, yeah, Tim Patrick was definitely a guy who the Saints could have used. I would have pulled the trigger to trade him, and they didn't. Marcus Williams, after he was a healthy and active for the Ravens, he might have been a Dennis Allen scheme, not merchant, but he definitely has talent. But Dennis Allen probably helped Marcus Williams out a lot more than Marcus Williams helped Dennis Allen out. He's good because they have so many weapons. I'm not saying like he'd be having the same season here. I'm saying he's taking the unnecessary hits that Olave is taking, and it's not affecting him as much as it is Olave. He's still not. I don't know if Olave might be playing more games this season if Tim Patrick's on this team. I'm not saying we win another game if we have him. I'm not saying he's even productive. I am saying though, like he probably Chris Olave maybe doesn't take that hit against the Panthers. That's what I'll say. Yeah, I'm agreeing with this. I'm just saying though, like it would have been nice to have him playing instead of Mason Tipton. Like Warner's kind of soft too many times watching Chase guys 5-10 yards line. Uh, I don't know. I think Pete Warner was the best linebacker on the team this year. That's what I'll say. Could he improve? Absolutely. But just like the previous comment, if you put Pete Warner on the Eagles, is he having a Zach Bond season? Like maybe Pete Warner looks bad because the defensive line is letting the running backs run up the middle 7 yards every play. Will they bring back Michael Thomas? Maybe not. I don't think so. Team love second favorite player of all time. It's time to just kind of let it be. Yeah. What's up? How you doing? Hope you're having a good week. Detroit Lions have an offensive line which makes all skill positions look better. Jamal Williams looked way better there than here. Yeah, I agree with that. But also Jamal Williams has 0 burst for this team. Like I'd cut Jamal Williams. Like AK and Kendre are having production or putting up at least some flashy plays with this offensive line. Jamal Williams hasn't. In terms of free agency, I hope we sign a guard, a linebacker. Yeah, I just don't know exactly who. The Saints are cleaning up their cap. So just like last season, they'll probably have one bigger name signing like a Chase Young, and then everyone else you're signing a Cedric Wilson and a Will Harris, who has been decent, but I don't. They're not going to be signing a whole lot of highly priced players. This team needs to clean up their cap, and that's exactly what they should be doing. They should not be spending a lot of money. Yes, Brazil needs to work on his run defense. Absolutely. Getting Mason Graham next to him would have been perfect. Would have been absolutely perfect. How do we have so many slow players when we play on the fast track in the Superdome? I don't know what that means, but yeah, we got a lot of slow players. We got a lot of slow players. No, I don't think he plays. He could though, but I don't think so. But yeah, I don't understand why Jamal Williams is on kickoff return. I don't know why Darren Rizzi has him doing the fake punts. Like you could put almost anybody else on kickoff return. I don't know why Jamal Williams of all people is there. You'd rather have Mike T on the 53 than Jamal. I think I'd say probably like 99% of people would agree with this. All right. I think that's all the questions. Unless any last ones come in, we're gonna finish up this live. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I don't know how many of you saw my community post, but I said I want to do more live streams in 2025, more shorts, hit 10K. Obviously, you have bigger goals than hitting 10K, but that's the next milestone. So I appreciate all you guys. And double check if you're subscribed. Sometimes you think you are, but you're not. Just double check. It should be Dante on. Yeah, Dante Pettis has been a good returner. Why not put Alonte at kick returner? He's fast as hell. Tipton, yeah. I'm considering it. It's just gonna be a shitty stream. The game's gonna suck. Like if I was to make a bet, I think it'll probably be like 30-10. But I'll consider it. But I feel like it's just gonna be me sitting here for 3 hours talking about how much this team sucks. Later, peace. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Gonna hit 10. Oh, wrong one. I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, definitely gonna hit it. Hopefully in a few months. Take it easy. Yeah, hope you all have a good New Year, good weekend. We beat them with Trevor. That was 3 years ago. Let's be fair. We got 3 offensive starters in this game. Anything's possible though. Anything is possible. I'm not counting it out, but I'm not expecting really anything. All right, that's it here. So thank y'all for tuning in. Fun live stream. We'll definitely be back next week. Want to do like one a week. Gonna see how my school schedule ends up looking. But yeah, off season's coming up. Got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we'll get we'll talk about it when that stuff comes in like next week, coaching, all that good stuff. So thank you for tuning in. Have a good weekend. See you guys next time.